Hello, everyone. Hello. Sorry, I'm fixing. There we go. How's everyone doing? Welcome. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Depends where you're coming from in the world. Just going to wait a few minutes just for some people to pop on. Right, I understand life gets a bit chaotic for people. Today I'm going to be discussing on how you calculate child maintenance, right? I'm just going to see if I'm live in my Facebook group. I have a support Facebook group where basically I give more valuable content than I would on my Instagram. If you guys want the link, it's more of a community kind of vibe. So if you guys want the link, you're more than welcome to pop me a DM and I will send you the link. If you guys can hear me, please say yes, right? And if you guys are watching the replay, please will you hashtag replay on the video for me. That would be very, very appreciated. And then at least I can see who is there, who's watching, who wants value, and who essentially needs to be in a position where I can assist and I can guide in the best possible way. Okay. There are so many different things. Firstly, before I continue, I just wanted to say that I am live on Instagram. So when I look there, hi Instagram, and then I'm live on Facebook, right, at the same time. So essentially what that means is that I feel like I'm actually talking to an audience, which is pretty damn cool, guys. I haven't done a live event in so long. I honestly miss it so much. Like I miss the energy, I miss the people, I miss feeling that sense of community, but we will get there soon. So if any of you don't know me, my name is Jennifer Amy Stoller, and I am an attorney, I'm a coach, I'm a speaker, and I essentially help humans divorce from other humans, habits that don't serve them, as well as spaces that do not serve them. How's it, everyone? I'm going to give you guys a wave on Instagram, and anyone that is watching on my amazing group, please say hello, right? Say, how's it, Jen? How are you? Tell me how your day's been, and cool. Just a little bit of the to-do list that we need to do. So you guys can hear me, you can see me, type yes, done. And today is something that I thought needs to be discussed. When I discussed divorce settlements last week, a lot of you told me that you needed help with child maintenance. And obviously, because I want to add the most amount of value and because I want to help people go into the situation and see if we can work together on another level, I'm really excited to get into this because it is really a topic that overwhelms so many people. Right. So the concept of calculating child maintenance, the concept of people not having money for their children, and the concept of people being in a situation where they actually don't even know where to turn. Right. I was actually chatting to a client today that was telling me that she's like, no, I know exactly how to calculate maintenance. I know exactly what to do, but I just feel so overwhelmed and I just feel so lost. Okay. And don't you find that fascinating that she knows what to do? The information is there, but she just didn't have the guidance before. She didn't have someone showing her how to do it. She didn't have someone holding her hand through it. So that's essentially what I'm here to try and assist you guys in doing tonight. So let's get into it. I have made a few notes because it is quite I don't like to say complicated because then I'm going to sound all lawyery, but it is actually quite a complicated process, right? I'm going to do my best to simplify it as much as I possibly can. How's it, Deirdre? How's it, everyone? So excited to have all of you here. A little bit of a warning. I do speak a bit fast sometimes. It's because I get super excited. I get super passionate about what I'm speaking about. I get super into the whole realm of educating, empowering, and guiding humans to turn their pain into power, to make their lives easier, to help their kids, to free their children as well from situations that are really making them very uncomfortable, right? So if I do speak fast, I do apologize, but I only have 30 minutes with you and I want to add the most amount of value that I possibly can. So let's get into this. I also, for everyone that stays online, I do have a gift for you at the end. This gift is going to give you an opportunity to get more value from my work, get more information from what I do, and essentially give you your toolbox if you're going through a divorce, give you your toolbox if you're trying to co-parent, give you your toolbox if you're trying to calculate child maintenance, and essentially set you on a path where you don't feel like you're alone. Okay, so if everyone's with me, give me an emoji. I like to feel the energy, to be honest. I like to not only see a light that is like glare. I was going to say blaring, but blaring is not a word when it comes to light, right? That is glaring in my eye. And yeah, so essentially, when it comes to child maintenance, okay, in order for parents to claim maintenance, you must first determine the reasonable needs of the child on a monthly basis, or the children, okay? Many people have one child, many people have many children. At the end of the day, the whole concept around child maintenance, and if anyone is watching and you really do need this information, I would advise that you get a pen and paper and you start to jot down the most vital things that I tell you, because I also am a firm believer that it plants a seed in what you're going through and it allows you to ask questions going further, right? I find the biggest problem is that so many people don't know the right questions to ask in order to get the right answers. So I'm here to plant that seed. So get your pen and paper. I've got mine. I also spend my life scribbling, writing notes, doing my thing. Yeah. So there is no hard and fast rule, right? But generally, the child's share of the common expenses in the household is determined by allocating 1 part per child and 2 parts per adult or older child. In layman's terms, right, that means that a child's portion is 25% of a total value. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say, for example, you pay school fees for the kids, you pay for clothing. Let's say you pay for need this perfect timing. Exactly. The universe has literally sent me to help you in this space. And as I said in the beginning, if you guys missed it, I have created something that I deem quite exceptional. And I always said, you know what, if you don't back yourself, no one's going to back you. So I'm backing myself in this. That is going to add value more in this space where I get to break it down more, because now it's going to be kind of like a broad view, but it's going to plant a seed to allow you to either work with me in what I'm creating, or ask questions that you need answered. Okay, so now I'm getting distracted. I like speaking to people. I really do. Love it. So what this basically means is that if, say, for example, you have kids that you pay school fees for, that you pay, and also, sorry, I'm going to keep repeating this, but if I'm looking here, it's because I'm on Facebook. If I'm looking here, it's because I'm on Instagram. I'm not being rude. So yeah, I just don't like people to think that I'm not giving them their full attention. So now you get the concept of, obviously kids have their own expenses. Kids have school fees, kids have their extramurals, kids have their clothing that you need to buy, their play dates, their entertainment, and so on. So when it comes to those expenses, obviously that is just allocated to the child. And I'm going to get to how you would calculate that in between both parents. This is obviously South African law, right? I'm not speaking about any sort of other international law in this regard, but I am also going to give you tools to ask specific questions and to kind of calculate in the realm if you are from overseas. Okay. So now you get the concept of other bigger expenses. So let's say, for example, you are paying a bond of 10,000 Rand and you have one child. that child's portion, and don't even ask me why, this is just the rule of thumb, this is exactly what the courts apply, and this is essentially what must be applied by every single individual when calculating maintenance. It is a 25% portion of the cost. So let's say, for example, the children are primarily, I've always struggled with that word, resident with one parent. And that parent pays 10,000 Rand in, so I'll get to the questions later. So you guys are more than welcome to answer questions and I'll get back to them at the end. You know, as the parent that isn't taking care of the kids on a primary basis, has to pay, well, not has to pay, but the 25% will be attributable from that cost. So let's say the primary resident parent pays 10,000 Rand a month for a bond or rent. You would then get a little table. And as I said, if you guys stay on the line until the end, I will be able to give you a full Excel sheet that actually explains all of this. And to be honest, for me to explain an Excel sheet, numbers are my thing, right? So I can give you the tools, I can give you exactly the mindset of how to get there, but then allow you a space where you can actually dig deeper into it with your own expenses. So now you have a parent that's paying 10,000 Rand for rent or a bond. 25% for one child will go into another table where that 2,500 Rand, there's a formula that will be calculated in order to see how much of that each parent will pay. Okay, I'll get to the formula just now. I will also have an image of the formula, so you're more than welcome to DM me and I'll send you the image. But essentially, so many parents say, oh, I see my kids only once or twice a week, but why must I pay for my ex's accommodation? Okay. Obviously, if you came to that agreement, there are three possibilities. The first possibility is that you were not informed of how maintenance works and you agreed to pay for the full accommodation and obviously a lower amount in cash maintenance. Two, you had absolutely no idea. So yes, I will send the image of the spreadsheet. I'll put all of that on my Facebook group. But yeah, all of that, just right now, focus on what I'm saying. So now we are in a position that if you are paying for a full amount of accommodation, you must understand that when you are negotiating your maintenance, obviously the attorney or the mediator or someone that was working with you made a formula that works specifically for you. Okay, I'm just here to tell you the basics of how maintenance works and then show you in another space of how you can apply that into your own space. Okay, so a child's portion essentially is 25%. If you have shared residency, then obviously the realm changes. Okay, nothing in law is completely black and white. There is so much gray, but it's up to you to find out the basics, to find out the tools, to understand the basic realm and the skeleton of it, and then ask questions based on your situation that can apply to your kids' maintenance. Okay, so essentially, only once a child's reasonable monthly needs have been determined will one be able to establish the contribution that each parent is required to make. Okay, I have a full Excel sheet, and in this Excel sheet, it shows you exactly how to calculate everything, and I'm going to share all of that with you. You need to pop me a DM or send me an email. I'll give you all the information. But right now, all the costs relating to your life and your kids need to be documented. This goes from how much you pay in rent, how much is schooling, how much is clothing, how much is food, what are you paying for pets? Pets even come into play. How much are you paying for the pool, for the stuff for the pool, right? Like, and every single time I mention a pool, I have a good giggle because when I was younger, my father used to spend so much money on the pool and it would drive my mother insane, right? She's like, why are you spending so much on the pool? He's like, well, I have to spend so much on the pool because if I don't maintain the pool, then I'm going to have to fix the pool, which is going to cost me more, right? So what I'm trying to tell you is that every single cost that you pay, you must be aware of. It even deals with entertainment. Do your kids go to movies? Do they go see their friends? Do they buy their friends birthday gifts when it is their friends' birthday parties? Every single expense in this Excel sheet is provided for, right? And sometimes you'll have a good giggle. You'll be like, that's ridiculous, right? Like, I've updated the form because the form was very like outdated. It even used to have an amount that would be allocated for, when you used to rent like DVDs and stuff. And obviously now there's Netflix. So I've put Netflix in there. I've put DSTV and all of that. So at least you know that when you're getting this worksheet, I've really put the time and effort into it. Okay. So I'm just looking here. How's it, Brad? How's it, Carla? How's it, everyone? Thank you so much for taking time to join. I really do appreciate it. Okay, cool. So now you have got all your expenses. You've done the Excel sheet. You've filled in all the information. You've filled in the 25% for one child. Obviously, 50% for two. Obviously, that is not. Sometimes it doesn't make sense, but that is when you, as parents, mom up and dad up and speak to each other, even if it's in a mediation, and work out an amount that is workable, because you must understand something, that when you are making amounts available in this realm, you're providing for your children. Okay. You made those children. I don't care if you hate your ex. I don't care if you dislike him or her. I don't care if you did something to you in 1993 with his mother-in-law and she didn't back you and blah, 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 blah. Like, I understand the realm of the pain that you're in, but when it comes to kids, okay, it is one of those things where you as parents have to work together, because if you're working together and you're managing your money in a good, proper manner, it means your kids get the best that they can possibly get. It means that your kids get to experience certain things that maybe you didn't experience as a child, okay? So, or you did, and you want them to have better. Whatever your narrative is behind the financials and behind the realms of how much you're spending, where it's going, what you're doing with it, remember that those little people that you created deserve the best, always, right? So even if you have to niggle with the numbers, even if you have to get to a situation where you don't understand why you're paying so much, well, then come see me and set up an appointment and understand why you're paying so much. Because then at least I can guide you. I can give you valuable information that comes from a place of knowledge. It comes from a place of intellect. And it also comes from a place of being logical. Okay. So now, for example, I see a comment that says, I pay 8,000 for their accommodation. I have two daughters. Why must I pay for my ex's accommodation? Well, if you guys are part of my group, I told you, disclaimer, I'm always going to be honest with you. I'm always going to be upfront. You're not paying for your ex's accommodation. You're paying for your children's accommodation. Your children live there, so that is their home. When you see it differently from another lens, that you're not giving to your ex, or you're not feeding your ex's lifestyle, or whatever kind of narrative you want to put on it, and you see that you're paying to give your children a roof over their head, and you're paying to give your children a realm where they can be comfortable, then things shift. And then when you get there and you still have more questions, then seek advice. It's very, very simple, right? It's a very, very simple equation. And I'm not saying that I'm the one that you need to come and get advice from, and I'm not saying that I'll be able to solve all your problems. But what I am saying is that you need to identify what the problem is before you can solve the problem. So, okay, cool. So now the equation goes like this. So now step one, you get your bank statements out. You go through everything that you're paying for. What are you paying for? Many people don't even know what they're paying for. Many people don't even know what they should be paying for. And you fill in this Excel sheet. As I said, DM me if you want the link. And then you go into a formula where basically it determines your contribution, okay? You must remember something, that It goes on what each parent is earning and the needs of the child. So sometimes people say, oh, they must pay 50% and I'll pay the other 50%. But if two people are not earning the same thing, that is impossible. Okay. I want you to, if you take anything from this live, I want you to step into a space of being logical. I don't care what your ex-attorney said. I don't care what your ex's friend's mother or whatever. The narrative complicates things. I want you to get to a point where you think in a practical manner. If one parent earns 100,000 and the other parent is earning 10,000 Rand and has to take care of the kids 100% of the time, obviously they're not going to be able to pay 50%. Just be rational. Like, it's just a rational thing. So now we go into the calculation, okay? And I will send you a screenshot of this because it is quite complicated for me to explain verbally, but I'm going to do my absolute best. Okay. So now you have the calculation. You take the one parent's gross income. Do I understand why it's a gross income? No, it makes zero sense. That is what the courts apply. Now we're stepping into logic where we're going to take the net income. What do you earn after tax? Okay, put that in. I'm actually going to write it down. Let me do it for you here, and then you guys can take a screenshot as I do it. So the proper calculation is the parent's gross income. Let's do net because we're going to be logical, right? Like, is this valuable, guys? Tell me, am I adding value? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Or am I just babbling on, making absolute no sense? You're more than welcome to tell me. I'm very open. Okay, so the parent's gross income. Then you times it. Guys, I did standard grade maths, just by the way. So sometimes it gets very difficult, but I'm going to help you. Oh, thank you. Cool earrings. Oh, thanks. That I love. I love that comment. That's my favorite. Child's needs. Okay. Or children's needs. And then I'm going to show you this, but you're more than welcome to DM me for the screenshot of it. Just give me 2 seconds, guys. So normally on my Facebook group, if anyone's listening on Instagram, also DM me for the link for the Facebook group, because on the Facebook group, from the end of September, I'm actually going to be doing slides on there. So it'll be more valuable. Okay, equals each parent's contribution. Okay. I'm going to show you now. Okay, so now, I'm going to show Instagram and then I'm going to show Facebook. Okay, so on here, you're more than welcome to take a screenshot. It might be backwards, but I'll also send you the screenshot via DM. So here you're going to see the parent's gross income. Okay, we're going to make it the net just to be practical right now. If you're obviously in the legal system, it might be a bit different, but I want both of you to step into practicality. Then it's going to be times the child's needs. So you will only be able to find out what the children's needs are from the Excel sheet that I show you or I send you, okay? Then the total gross income of both parents. This is possibly one of the hardest things that many people try to figure out, okay? Because how can I send a short voice note to explain? Well, so for me, I don't give legal advice over DM, so you can either set up a call with me or you can join the challenge that I'm having at the end of the month. But that's just my integrity. I can't give legal advice over a DM, but I can give, you're more than welcome to pop me an email and set up a consult, Eka. Cool. So here we now have the total gross income. Many parents don't disclose what they're earning. So this is the hardest realm that many people are going to face. What does the other person earn? Okay. And that's when you can, like, many parents get so obsessed with trying to figure out what the other person is earning. But if you're in a position where you can go, okay, cool, I'm going to, let's say he or she is a pharmacist. Literally go on Google and type in the average income for a pharmacist in whatever country. And then just get an estimate, and maybe inflate it a little bit, because what I've found in my practice is that when I inflate what I think people are earning, that's when they come back and go, I'm not earning that much. This is what I'm earning. I'm like, oh, thanks for telling me. Cool. So that's a little trick that I have under my sleeve. And then you get to the parent's contribution. Okay. So as I said, I'm here to plant the seed. I'm here to show you the mindset of how to get there. And then I'll give you all a link to join what I've created and all of that, as well as for you to DM me if you want the screenshots and the Excel sheets and all of that. So now, maintenance cannot be measured in monetary terms alone. Okay. Usually the parent who cares for the child on a day or the children on a daily basis will always end up spending more. That is exactly why if you don't share primary residence, and also once again, even if you do share primary residence and one parent earns more than the other, then the other parent should be giving some sort of cash maintenance to the other parent, because obviously it doesn't make sense. How are they supposed to take care of the children on an equal basis if you're not earning on an equal basis? Wake up. Sorry, I get super passionate about this because so many people go, well, we're sharing residency, so they must pay for this and they must pay for this. And I'm like, yeah, I completely understand that. But like, if they're not earning the same as you, that's impossible. But maintenance, the fact that I'm even doing this live is a huge step for me because it is so complex and it really does apply to each individual. And that's exactly why I have created like all these different things for us to potentially work together. I'll go through comments now. Sorry, I get very distracted, guys. I'm blonde. Like, I'm just like all over the place. I'm not all over the place. I'm very, okay. Okay, so basically now, that's why in this Excel sheet, it'll literally set out everything. How much do you pay for petrol? How much do you pay for parking car guards a month? Everything must be taken into account because that is how you will get your cash maintenance amount. When it comes to, they call it EDS and MEDS, so education and what's it called? Medical aid and all of that. That sometimes, and 90% of the time, is paid directly to the service provider. You will sometimes see where one parent will pay directly to the school or directly to the actual service provider. Okay. Okay, so I'm just looking at the comments. Okay, so when it comes to maintenance, and I'm going to close it off, I'm going to ask questions, and so I will always give this amount of information on these lives, but then I will give you a space where you can get more information. And in this realm, it's going to be a free Facebook 3-day challenge where I go through everything, as well as a free 15-minute call to see if I can assist you or if you can set up a consult. But if you're anything like me, I don't have time to do challenges. I don't have time to take days to learn the information that I know that I need. So if you know exactly what you need, pop me a DM, and then we can actually set up a proper consult where I can actually help you, right? These things, they snowball out of control. You must always understand that. So many people come to me and they go, oh, I have these issues. And I can even see with the comments, people have been probably dying to ask me all these questions, but it's very hard for me to answer a question in a black and white format where there is history, there is maybe a divorce agreement, maybe there's a maintenance order, maybe there isn't a maintenance order, maybe there's arrears maintenance. That's what goes through my head. So if you ever ask me a question and I don't answer it and you go, oh, she's not answering it because, and I've had this before, because she's an attorney and she doesn't want to give value. No, it's not that. It's literally because your question is not just black or white. It's not yes or no, right? If you want, like, I'm very hard on myself in life and in my business and with my clients and stuff that I love and add value to my life and I add value. But essentially what I'm saying is that if you're not changing, you're choosing, one. And two, if you have an issue and you're not willing to resolve it by going to the right people to resolve it, and it gets worse, it's on you, right? It's like being really, like if you were really, really sick and you kept getting sick, would you go to the doctor or would you just sit there DMing doctors going, oh, well, my leg's about to fall off. I think it's very uncomfortable, but can you just give me some advice? No, you wouldn't. So why I'm very hard on that and why I'm very outspoken about that is because when people come and they ask me questions, they don't realize that I'm also a human being like all of you. I give a fuck. I studied for a very long time. I work my ass off, but The difference is that I can't help you if you're not helping yourself. But I'll always give you tools to do that in order to come into a realm where we can work together. Okay, my rant is over. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. I'm joking. Okay, so I'm going to end off with answering a few questions that I can answer, popping the link in here, explaining to you what I am doing and what I'm going to invite you to, and giving you 3 top tips. So the first tip is, if you're listening on Instagram and you're not part of the Facebook community, please DM me for the link, because that community, I'm more present there. I'm also going to start doing more in there when it comes to that. The challenges that I run are in there. The lives that I'll be running will only be from there, from the end of September. And yeah. Second tip is create. Oh, so I couldn't even read my handwriting. Okay, firstly, so the second one, always keep your expenses. Always ask the right questions, and do not expect people to save you if you cannot save yourself. Okay. 2, and then the third one is create a mechanism that works with your co-parent. I'm just going to answer questions here. What happens if a maintenance order is made and an ex relocates, assuming she knows she can support the child, and the cost of travel come into play? Why would the other parent's inherent travel costs above a maintenance order? So in that realm, it is very, very vital that before she moved, an addendum to that maintenance order should have been made. Okay. An addendum. So if you had to make an addendum to the, especially if let me put it to you this way. If 2 parents get on and they don't hate each other and want to kill each other and they're in litigation battles, it might become easier to co-parent and communicate. If you are dealing with a narcissistic parent that cannot communicate and that wants to litigate all the time, make sure that you go and see the right person to do an addendum, because generally an addendum is done for a child to relocate. An addendum is done saying the child will now live from Johannesburg or from this country to another country. Make sure that when you're doing the contact addendum, you're saying, cool, now and I'm going to give you some sort of things that you can possibly think about. Every second month, every month the child will travel to see the other parent, but every second month that parent will pay for it. So it flips. 1 month, one parent pays, the next month the other parent pays. If you want the other parent to completely pay because they've relocated and it's their fault, no, doubt you're going to win. Pick your battles. Pick what you're going to win. Okay. Then my problem is my husband is a small basic but earns most of his money commission. The mediator says we can only go off his basic. No. So the mediator says all of this kind of stuff. I want every person that is listening to this to apply, excuse my language, your fucking mind. Okay. And why I say this is because a mediator is going to say that. Do you have a good mediator? Do you have a mediator that thinks out the box? Do you have a mediator that just studied family law and it's one textbook this big and they are like, oh, blinkers, this is how it works. This is how it works. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. No. At the end of the day, if he's earning commission, right, do an exercise which can essentially go like this. If he's been earning a constant amount of commission of, let's say, 10 grand for the last 12 months, work off that as an annual amount, and then reduce, divide it by 12. Go back in the last 12 months and see how much commission he has earned, right? So let's say 1 month he earned 20, the next month he earned 10, the next month he earned 15, the next month he earned 40, the next month he earned 100. Take all of those amounts over the last year and divide them by 12 and get an amount that you can allocate to his basic every month. Use a mechanism that is workable for you. Don't care if the mediator says this. Sometimes I can even, as an attorney, I'll say this is the law, but then I'll snip into the human space and tell you what practically will work. Okay. Hope that answers your question. So I know why I must pay a certain amount for an office at home. Well, to be honest, I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes when you have all these questions, set up a consult. The end. You also have a lot of this. Okay. So now I'm going to get into what I'm going to tell you about. So essentially, from the 25th, actually, wait. Guys, it's been a manic day. I'm just trying to look for here. From the 27th of September until the 29th of September, I've created a free challenge where it is basically 3 days. And in those 3 days, I give you information and content that allows you to build your divorce game plan. Okay. It allows you to build your divorce roadmap. This is for people that have also gone through a divorce, and you still have questions, because you must understand something. Just because you're divorced and there's still niggles in the settlement agreement and there's still questions that people are asking, you're not technically divorced from the problem. And if any of you guys know me very well, you will know that my aim is to change the narrative on divorce. My aim is to show that you can divorce from anything in life. Okay. So if you're having an issue about maintenance, this is for you. Okay. I'm going to map out that. If you're just starting the divorce process, this is for you. If you are thinking about divorce and you don't know if you should or you shouldn't, this is for you. If you are trying to get into a parenting plan, this is for you. If you're dealing with anything in terms of children, a spouse, anything like that, a settlement agreement, anything like that, this is for you. Okay. So on Instagram, I'm going to put the link here. Oh, crap. I didn't copy the link, obviously. Okay. So every single person, I'm going to put the link in my bio. Okay. Let me make that easy. I'm going to put the link in my bio after I've done this. And on the Facebook group, I'm going to put the link in the comments. This is 3 days. Okay. If you're someone like me that one doesn't have time for a 3-day challenge and knows their issue and knows what they need and all of that, then I will give you a link to set up a 15-minute free call with me to see if I can assist you. Okay. In that that's a tongue twister. In that free 15-minute call, what will happen is that I'll just see if I can assist you in any way. If I can't assist you, I'll refer you. Okay. And if I can't also assist you, then I'll at least give you some sort of guidance, like an ebook that I've created or something like that. And if I can assist you, then I will give you a realm where we can work together and I can solve your issues. And yeah, so that is essentially the game plan. 1, giving you access to 3 days of full content with me. When I say full content, there are prizes at the end. There are worksheets for you to fill in. There are invaluable things that I've spent hours creating, and also from 8 years of experience in the legal realm. Actually longer. Don't twist your tongue. Well, I'm trying my best. Thank you. So that link I'm going to put in my bio. Join. You will get, as I said, all the I'm not here to convince you. It's for you. If told you any space with divorce, you want answers, you want valuable. If obviously you don't have the time and capacity for it, set up the 15-minute call, but DM me. If you DM me for legal advice, it's very difficult for me to give legal advice over DM. So please rather don't. I struggle with that. I struggle to say no. But it's also up to you guys to, I'm here adding value. I just expect the same kind of mirror of value back. And yeah, so I'll send you the link for the 15-minute call or the Facebook challenge. But and then if anyone does want access to the Excel sheet and the screenshot of the formula, is best if you join the Facebook group or you email me at help@thedivorcecheck, and then I can send it to you. .co.za. Let me put that in the comments here, because I don't like being so close to this camera. There we go. Okay. So help@thedivorcecheck, pop me an email. And yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I hope that this did add value. I hope that it did help in some way. As I said, I get to give you this amount of value, but then I give you mechanisms like the Facebook group, like my email address, like the 15-minute call. So I can assist. You're not alone, right? Like, as I said, if your leg was in pain or if you were sick, sneezing and really, really ill, would you be DM your like going on Google, going, how do I get better? Or DMing a doctor, a random doctor saying, how do I fix this? Or would you actually go and see a doctor and fix the problem before it got worse? I hope you know the answer to that. Okay. But thank you guys for tuning in. I'm sending you so much love. I'm sending you so much light. I will save the recording on Instagram on my IGTV. The recording also will be saved on my Facebook support group. And yeah, hope you guys have the most unbelievable evening. And goodbye. Cheers, guys. Wait, now I have to do this at the same time. There we go.